Good afternoon. Welcome to APTN National News. I'm Savannah Kelly. Family are speaking out after a deadly crash on Siksika First Nation Saturday night. 2 men were killed, a woman is in hospital recovering, while 2 others are just thankful to be alive tonight. Tsuu'tina, Running Bird and Clifton Saddleback were struck and killed by a dark gray pickup truck around 9:30 Saturday night. Emmeline Turning Robe has dozens of broken bones and is in critical condition at Foothills Hospital. 2 other people were not injured.
Truck, I heard it rev its engine and I had a feeling, I was like, you guys, we should get out the way, get in the field. I feel like they're gonna hit us. And as we were running, we all scattered and we ran, and that truck, he intentionally came and he tried to clip all 5 of us, but me and my friend got out the way, and he hit my mom's boyfriend first, then my mom, and then my husband was last.
Panther Bone was one of 2 people who were not injured. Tsuu'tina Running Bird and Clifton Saddleback were killed, and Emmeline Turning Robe is suffering from dozens of broken bones. Adolphus Weaselchild has been charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of attempted murder. Anyone with video of the incident is asked to contact RCMP or Crime Stoppers. York Factory Cree Nation in northern Manitoba has taken to Facebook to declare a state of emergency, saying 600 members could be trapped as wildfires burn in the area. The Facebook post says low water levels on the Nelson River have shut down the ferry that is the main way in or out of the community. According to York Factory, the Kiosk Hydro Dam is causing the low water levels. They say downed phone lines, expensive air transportation, and wildfires at the Tatasqueya Cree Nation an hour away also led to the state of emergency being called. Manitoba Transportation Minister Lisa Naylor said in an emailed statement that the ongoing drought has caused the unusually low water levels, and the government is closely monitoring the situation. The York Factory has called a press conference for Tuesday morning in Winnipeg, where they expect to get a response from the Manitoba government. York Landing is more than 900 kilometers north of Winnipeg. The Tsuu'tina Nation near Calgary announced a partnership with the Calgary Fire Department on Wednesday, which would help firefighting efforts for both communities. APTN's Chris Stewart has more.
Firefighters from both the Tsuu'tina Nation and Calgary gathered at the Tsuu'tina Fire Department to celebrate and formally announced their new partnership. A partnership designed to help save lives.
This is not just a partnership. It is a step towards stronger ties between urban and Indigenous fire services. A chance to share knowledge, to learn from one another, and to build trust through actions.
And both can learn from each other.
What's new now is that Calgary has offered some of their resources, such as their educational pieces and just education on awareness, and we're adopting some of that. And also what we're giving back is certain protocols that they might run into when they reach some of those urban Indigenous individuals out there.
Personnel, equipment, and training will be shared between both the Tsuu'tina Nation and the Calgary Fire Departments.
Tsuu'tina is a valued neighbor and a valued friend of the City of Calgary and Calgary Fire Department. We've got an excellent mutual aid agreement where we will send resources to support incidents at Tsuu'tina when they require help. And actually at times, Calgary Fire Department will reach out to Tsuu'tina that there's things such as the tender and bush buggies that are a huge asset for pockets of our city.
And Kidda, a fire safety equipment manufacturer, was here. They donated $86,000 in smoke alarms for the 2 communities to give to members. Kidda are going to 16 Indigenous communities in Alberta, Manitoba, Ontario, and Quebec, and donating nearly $400,000 worth of smoke alarms. Stats Canada shows that in 2020, 1 in 8 people who die from a house fire did not have a working fire alarm.
This marks a significant step towards addressing the urgent need for enhanced fire safety in Indigenous communities within Canada. But our efforts focus on more than just the provision of smoke alarms. It's about creating an action plan tailored to each community that ensures these essential devices are being installed in homes.
Both fire services advise people to check their fire extinguishers and their fire alarms monthly. Chris Stewart, APTN National News, Tsuu'tina Nation, Alberta.
In Winnipeg, a ribbon-cutting ceremony marked the grand opening of the Odana Gas Convenience, the first retail business to launch at the Nawe Odana development. The 64-hectare development is the largest urban reserve in Canada. It was established in 2022 when the former Kapayong Barracks was repatriated to the Treaty 1 Development Corporation, which is owned by a group of 7 First Nations in Manitoba. Odana Gas Convenience is open 24/7 and employs a 96% Indigenous workforce. At the Friday ceremony, guests including Treaty 1 President Chief E.J. Fontaine, SEO Grand Chief Jerry Daniels, and Winnipeg Mayor Scott Gillingham spoke about the significance of the development. APTN National Chief Cindy Woodhouse-Nepanak described it as a model for economic reconciliation.
This landmark development will represent the largest multi-use project in modern Winnipeg history and the largest First Nation economic zone in this country. Treaty 1 has fought so hard to be a leader of what economic reconciliation looks like in this country, and I'm so proud to have been a part of advocating alongside Treaty 1 nations. It is an inspiration for all First Nations across this country to pursue their own collective governance models, from returning lands and improving economic development opportunities. The success of this place is a shining example of what our people can accomplish across the country.
The Northwestern Ontario city of Kenora has announced the expropriation of a historic but dilapidated downtown building. The 115-year-old Canesia Hotel is an icon of Kenora's skyline, but City Council voted unanimously Thursday to expropriate the heritage-designated building to revitalize the urban area. The plan is to restore and preserve its historical significance so it doesn't fall into further decline. The Canesia is currently in active use, housing longer-term tenants and casual overnight stays. City officials say they will engage with community partners to explore housing solutions for the people affected by the expropriation. We're always looking for your feedback or story ideas. Here's how you can continue the conversation. If you have a story you want to share, send us an email to news@aptn.ca. To read and watch our stories, go to aptnnews.ca. You can find us online on your favorite social media sites, including TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn, and X. Follow APTN News to join the conversation and see our latest stories. We have to step aside for a short break. When we come back, we'll bring you the story of a youth preparing to make a splash in a fishing competition. Stay with us. Welcome back to APTN National News. A youth from Hiawatha First Nation in Ontario is preparing for a fishing competition in the state of Georgia. Damien Kimball, along with his grandparents, are packing up to hit the road this week. Annette Francis met up with him before he left.
The 2.75-inch gizzard shad imitates a minnow. I have it on a drop shot rig, this is what it's called, so it's a tungsten weight here, and I have about 10 inches with a size 2 hook here, smaller profile, and what this does is just sits above in the water column, imitates a bait fish.
15-year-old Damien Kimball knows a lot about fishing. It's been his passion for over a decade.
I just grew up around the right area, good fishery around here. A lot of guys do it. Just something I love, my ancestors used to do. I've started off fishing with my grandpa when I was really young and just grew up doing it with them, and eventually got in some boats with some other older guys, fishing with them, and doing it by myself now, doing tournaments and all that.
Kimball qualified for the Junior Series National Championship earlier this year by placing second in a high school competition. For months he'd been preparing for the competition, which will be held in Evans, Georgia next week. But with a sudden change in rules where second-place finishers were now not qualified, he almost didn't get to go. According to his grandma Stephanie, it was a huge disappointment.
Been a big thing for us, the fundraising that we've done and trying to, prepare, getting time off of work and stuff like that to go down there to have him experience this.
It took some time, but she successfully convinced the organizers that all this preparation work would be in vain. So they allowed him back in, and now he's hyped and ready to go.
It's going to be an awesome tournament. 250 boats down there, a lot of guys from all over the world. It's going to be fun, really good experience, and hopefully I get to do it next year.
Kimball knows his stuff. He does his own research and takes whatever tips he can from other fishermen. According to his grandfather, when it comes to fishing, he's a natural.
We started with him when he was probably about 4 years old, out in the boat with a Spiderman fishing rod, and he caught the biggest fish that was about that big, and the excitement in his eyes showed that he was going to continue fishing for a long time.
Win or lose next week, Kimball plans to continue competing well into the future.
Come back up here and do more tournaments. I got a qualifier on Lake Erie to go back down there next year somewhere in the States, so we'll see how that goes, and yeah.
Good luck, Damien. Annette Francis, APTN National News, Hiawatha First Nation.
Good luck, Damien. A Manitoban was given a big honor this weekend. They were crowned Miss Indigenous Canada. Winner Gina Boubard is from Saugeen First Nation. They are Two-Spirit and an LGBTQ2S+ advocate, leading their community's first ever Pride event this summer. In a Facebook post, Boubard thanked their home community, Two-Spirit kin, and loved ones for their support. 5 totems are being temporarily removed from the places they stand in central Sanage. One of those is Say Out Artists, who's worked on the initial carving project, is polishing them up to give them new life. CTV's Yvonne Raymond has more.
People in central Sanage are taking up an artist's offer to witness the process behind the carving of totems in their community.
I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to kind of be in the community, restoring something that's for the community.
Say Out carver Bear Horn is carrying on the legacy of work he started with his dad almost 10 years ago.
It's wonderful. It's a thing you hope for. You know, you never think it will come to happen, but I'm very, very happy and very proud of it.
The master carver was invited by his son to see the refurbishment of the pole at Helhelik Park.
Traditionally, we wouldn't really refinish them. We'd kind of let them kind of go through their lifetime and then fall down and go back to the earth. But I think you know, it's kind of a little bit of a monument for the community, a representation of our territory and our ancestors and stuff. And so I think it's a good idea to kind of keep it revitalized and keep it clean and nice.
Bears peeling back a new layer of wood on the design for the district until July 31st. Then there are 4 more.
That's great. I think he's a fantastic artist, and it's really good to see the art coming back to life.
The Thunderbird and Wolf will return to their home outside the police station when it's done, along with others throughout the rest of community over the coming months.
I'm really happy to be able to do it, and work on something my dad created and designed is also very nice.
Yvonne Raymond, CTV News, Central Sanage.
The 3rd annual East by Northwest Summit just wrapped up in Vancouver, where the best in film, TV, digital, streaming, and animation industries got together to learn from one another and make new connections. And for the 2nd year in a row, an Indigenous woman was honored. APTN's Tina House has this story.
It's a proud day for Doreen Manuel as she celebrates her latest award.
This is my Global Connector East by Northwest Award that I received from the conference, from the gala. Well, they recognize me for all the work that I've been doing over these past 20-some years within the film industry, but media industry also. I'm a matriarch for the IM4, Virtual Augmented IA program, and we train Indigenous people.
Presented by East by Northwest, the Global Connector Award is given to individuals or organizations for their contributions to global connectivity, innovation, and collaboration. For the 3rd year in a row, it's sponsored by the Racial Equity Screen Office. East by Northwest is designed to highlight, elevate, and empower the next generation of creatives across film, TV, streaming, gaming, and animation. Through workshops, seminars, and panels, attendees get to learn from producers, funders, agents, talent executives, and policymakers. And for Manuel, this award symbolizes a step forward for all Indigenous people.
We're trying to get ahead of the game, because in the film industry, which started in the late 1800s, we weren't able to participate in the beginning because of the obvious reasons. And then by 1970s, when the National Film Board started the film program that they had for Indigenous people, that's when we really started to come into the industry a lot more, and we're playing catch up all the time.
As a leader in the film and television industry, she's honored to help inspire the next generation.
Choose a few different departments to work in. Like if you're an actor, also learn how to be behind the camera. If you're behind the camera, take some acting classes and choose a few different departments, because it's really hard to work your way up to a status where you can continually be hired in the same department of your choosing.
Manuel was one of 6 recipients, and she took this moment to thank those that helped her along the way.
Thank you, Napika's creator, for giving me the skills and ability to help our people. I'm always grateful. Thank you for this acknowledgement.
Tina House, APTN National News, Vancouver.
We now want to tell you about this week's web poll question. Has Indigenous Services Canada become too narrow in its interpretation of Jordan's Principle? Yes, no, or unsure? You can go to our website, aptnnews.ca/poll to cast your ballot. We need to take one more quick break. Coming up, 2 emerging Red River Métis artists are showcasing their work inspired by the land. Stick around. Over on the East Coast, 18 degrees for Halifax, plus 24 for Charlottetown. Nain, plus 10, partially cloudy there. Happy Valley Goose Bay, plus 22. Saint-Gilles, plus 26 there. Quebec City, plus 25. 27 for Toronto, plus 20 in Sault Ste. Marie. Kapuskasing, sunshine and 20 degrees there. Wawa, plus 18. Churchill, 10 degrees there. Norway House, 13 degrees. Winnipeg, sunshine and 18, Barons River, 15. Estevan, 15 degrees there, Saskatoon, 15 as well. Stony Rapids, 12 degrees there, and Buffalo Narrows, plus 15. Plus 28 in sunshine for Peace River and Grand Prairie. 24 degrees for Calgary, Red Deer, plus 26. Vancouver, sunshine and 25, Canal, 33 degrees. Prince George, rainy and 30 degrees there, Dease Lake, plus 23. Watson Lake, rainy and 26, Rock River, 17. Wati, rainy and 28, Yellowknife, 24. Colville Lake, rainy and 24 there, Sachs Harbor, plus 10. Chesterfield, 16 degrees there, as well as Whale Cove and Arviat. Clyde River, 10 degrees there, Iqaluit, rainy and plus 8. In Winnipeg, 2 emerging Red River Métis artists recently showcased their work in an exhibition called Tether. It brought together 7 Manitoba artists whose work is inspired by the land. Dominique Consuela Carrier is a Red River Métis and Mexican Mestiza artist, and Kai Queering is an artist with Red River Métis and Mennonite roots. Sierra Betton stopped by Gallery 226 in downtown Winnipeg to take a tour.
My name's Dominique Consuelo Carrier. I'm Mexican and I say mestiza as well from my mom's side. And then we have ties to the Oaxaca region and Campeche region as well in Mexico. Carrier or Carrier, which is like the more French way to say it, is related to my Michif ancestors through my dad's side of the family.
My name's Kai. I'm a Two-Spirit artist here in Manitoba, living out in Treaty 3 currently. And I'm a multi-medium artist, so I'm a tattoo practitioner, painter, illustrator. Primarily what is my influence is how is it that I am connected with the land, with my environment, with the animals that I own, the animals that I hunt, the animals that inhabit my area.
Over the past year, I spent half of the year in Mexico and a little bit of that in Central America as well. A big part of that was me wanting to just spend time on the land in Mexico, spend time around that culture. I spent some time with my great aunt down in Mexico in a place called Pinotepa where my grandpa was born. Throughout the trip, I was practicing the knowledge that she taught me, that beadwork technique. This one, I feel represents a lot of the things I'm trying to create, which is inspired by my identity and my cultures and how they all kind of live within me.
One of my paintings is of 2 bison, so I was able to go up north in La Paz in the fall time and was able to harvest a bison. Some of them did come towards the head bull and kind of said goodbye and was sniffing him, but the rest of the herd, all the younger bulls, were just trying to figure out who is top dog now. So it's just interesting getting to witness that whole thing and see how their herd, big family, how do they shift when losing something.
I really like kind of blending, I feel our traditional arts with I guess contemporary or different kind of ways of seeing tradition, how they change throughout time and are influenced by different things. So I feel that kind of is shown within the denim.
The dragonfly ones were just from spending so much time at the lakes and actually just getting to sit and watching the dragonflies dance above the water and stuff and actually just listening to what they had to say. The heart portrait is basically how I think process everything and how I view my own heart and how I view my intentions towards making pieces.
There's a bunch of collectives throughout Oaxaca City that get together, and it's a lot of it is tied to political statements and things, and they make these huge pieces. They're incredible. You walk through the markets and you see these big wooden masks, and they're used for ceremonies or dances. There's a bunch of different ones. A jaguar is a very common one. I wanted to also add a little bit of the Métis element to it too. So kind of you see the little florals coming out.
This hide piece, it's totally, it's just honoring because I do lots of hunting with my family. So deer is one of our main sources of eating for our freezers and stuff. So it's just acknowledging almost that whole aspect of the hunt. And what am I going to do with everything afterwards?
My art is very influenced by my cultures, my communities, the traditions. So I put a lot of my identity in the things that I make. They connect in many ways, and then sometimes I think they're very, very different. But kind of having that mix of both kind of settler culture and then also Indigenous culture kind of live, within myself.
My Opa was huge into herbalisms and identifying the plants and stuff when on my mom's side it was very much we didn't have access to ceremony. They kept it very suppressed and stuff, and it was very hidden and no one wanted to acknowledge that we were Michif. We've always known we were Michif and stuff, but it's just how do we get access to that knowledge? So being able to do that with my siblings has been a huge thing as growing up, and even bringing that into with my Opa and talking about all those stories. So it really goes hand in hand with how everything is inspired again from the land.
And that's all the time we have for your afternoon news this Tuesday. Dennis Ward will be back here in a few hours with your full evening newscast. I'm Savannah Kelly. Marcy Miigwech, thank you for joining us. See you here tomorrow.